Good morning, Titans. Today is Friday, February 22nd. I am Antonio Laberman. How you doing?
And I'm Jamie Hughes. I'm feeling a bit under the weather, so my apologies if I sneeze on the camera.
Well, we've got a jam-packed show full of stories and the return of Sports Corner, so let's get started. One of our own Antelope Titans has a blossoming career in mixed martial arts. Senior Evan Walters has been a passionate MMA fighter training with his dad. Julian Perez and Ademi Walker-Thomas have the story.
Flipping through the channels, you run across UFC, and you think, how can someone endure that many beatings? Well, Senior Evan Walter chooses to take these beatings every day and learn from it, or use it to instruct others. Whenever Walters has free time, he makes his way out to Mary Nobles in Roseville to train for his hopeful future career as an MMA fighter.
My dad, we used to watch the Ultimate Fighter show, and once I turned 15, he just asked me if what I thought about kickboxing, or at least, train a little bit here and there. Pretty much too small for other sports, so, I gave it a shot, and we found a spot, and Mary Nobles was the place, and I ended up here for the last 2 years. Like Big Heart, I have a whole bunch of people that look out for me, they don't mean to hurt me, but sometimes, it happens, and most of the hurt's mentally, and it's not physically. I mean, you get, pain, but the mental beatdown's a lot worse than, the physical pain you receive.
Walters not only trains at Mary Nobles, but also helps as an instructor at the gym by training other mixed martial arts students.
He's in instructor training, and as he's fighting and moving up, part of it is teaching, because when you teach something, you learn it all over again, and so that's part of being one of our fighters here is also teaching, and so we have him teach different drills, different stretches, different things during the class.
Mixed martial arts can be a very dangerous sport, but Walter says he's not worried about getting seriously hurt or injured.
Literally just a couple broken, little tiny bones, fingers, toes, or whatever, dislocated toe, nothing big, but I mean, pains like just taking nasty falls, hurting the knee, limping around for a couple days, trying to go for a leg kick and kicking somebody's knee pretty much takes you out for a good week, or, you'll be limping around for a little bit, but nothing too serious. I mean, cuts and whatnot, that happens, black eyes, busted nose. I mean, I've had my nose swell up, the size of my face, but it doesn't stop me from coming in here.
Walter's father also participates in MMA and says it's a great bonding experience for him and his son.
14th, the only thing for his birthday was gym membership, work out with me. So once we got the membership form, we started working out and getting healthy. We wanted to do MMA, kickboxing. We heard about Mary Nobles, it was a really reputable place, and they train good, legitimate fighters, and brought him in. And for the first year, he did it on his own, and I bring him in and support him and still working out in the gym with him a lot. So I decided to do it myself. And it's been, as far as bonding goes, it's been awesome. I mean, I'm with my son for 2 hours, sometimes 3 hours a night, 5 to 6 days a week training. He's like my best friend. I know I'm one of his best friends, and I have mad respect for that.
Walters hopes to have a future in mixed martial arts with all this time he spends in the gym training.
Future goals, I mean, a lot of people have it, but it's to be a UFC champ, and, I'm going to work hard at that, and I've been working hard these last, year, I'd say, last 11, 10 months, and, a lot of people think I could get there, and with their help, I really, I believe the same. Yeah, of course, I've had a fallback plan for a while. I mean, I love training and training other people and just fitness in general, working out. I love going to the gym. I love nutrition. I love it all. And, I'm going to Sierra College to look into the nutrition, fitness training, and, if I can't be the fighter I want to be, I'll definitely at least be, within some fitness category of, anything. I like to help people, and I like working with people, and I like fitness, and I love it all.
Reporting for your Channel 5 Titan TV News, I'm Ademi Walker-Thomas.
You may have seen him in past dance shows or even dancing around campus. Senior Brandon Noggle has got the moves so good that he will be majoring in dance at UC Santa Barbara. Reporter Matt Hoffman talked to Noggle to get the details.
I got accepted to UC Santa Barbara's dance major this month, and I went to audition in January. I trained for about 3 months just for the audition alone, and all that work like finally paid off. Like when I got my email, it's saying that I got accepted into the dance major. I had to audition in different styles, and they taught choreography, and we had to perform it straight away.
I think he 100% deserves it because he worked really hard in class over the last 3 years. I got him as a sophomore, and he, since day one, has pushed himself harder than, any other intermediate dancer, and just continued to work. And takes class outside of here, and I know that it's his goal to not just be a dancer, but to double major, and I think that whatever he ends up doing with his life, I think dance is always going to be a part of it, and it's the reward that he deserves after all the hard work and dedication and time that he's put into his dancing. He deserves this.
It's cool because Santa Barbara was my main choice, my main school I wanted to go to, and so now that I finally got accepted, I'm starting to make plans for what I want to do once I get there. Once I get there, I'll start taking dance classes immediately. I'll start taking technique classes, choreography classes, all that stuff. And hopefully I can start joining their dance companies and other dance performances they have there. And then hopefully that'll lead me into a professional career into dance after college.
They're mentioned in the bulletin frequently, but often misunderstood. The Speech and Debate Club has had many successes this year. That's why Sarabjot Shurgil and I filed this story to dive a little deeper into the club.
Intelligence, commitment, tenacity, intellect, challenge, courage, responsibility. Have you ever thought to give speeches in front of a crowd that may end up being very subjective or judgmental? For those in speech and debate, these students do it every day.
Speech and Debate is a very diverse club. Basically what happens is we have over 10 kinds of events, ranging from interpreting a literary work to something funny or something really dramatic. Well, a lot of people say that speech and debate, oh, it's only for kids who, are really nerdy or do like nothing but work in school. But it's not always the case. Obviously, if you have something like speech and debate, you got to put work into it. But I honestly think if you put enough work and whatnot, you have fun.
Because the speech and debate class and club are relatively similar to one another, they typically run almost exactly the same. Advisor Matt Paris had optimistic reasons to starting the program.
Speech and debate has something for everybody, literally. Creative types to analytical types. There is something involved in the class or the club or both that would appeal to every personality here on this campus.
Other than intellectual reasons, Matt Paris had also personal reasons relating to why he stepped up to advise the club and teach the class.
This actually has a couple of benefits. One, it'll look great on college resumes and that transcript trying to apply for that slot at Stanford, Yale, or Sac State or UC Davis. It also helps a student to develop a sense of self-esteem and confidence in who they are and what they can do and what they can accomplish. Transfers to job interviews, as well as other classes here on campus when they're giving presentations, as well as talking to mom and dad at home. When you're looking for the car keys, we help you to strategize how exactly you can achieve that goal.
Most would think that joining the club or class means that you would have to argue with your opponents for 20 minutes on the same issue. However, the program offers IEs, which are known as individual events, that many students tend to do well in.
Speech and debate is really fun, really, really fun. You pick what you like in speech and debate. You don't have to do something set. There's something for everyone. I do original prose and poetry, and what you do is basically you write poetry or you write any story you want. And mine is about a girl giving a speech at her uncle's memorial service, and basically, translation, I get to bring out my inner black woman as much as I want, and it's one of the most funnest things that you could ever do.
Hey, y'all! My name is Yolanda, Y-O-L-L, and I would like to thank you for coming to Uncle Bernie's memorial service. I would also like to give a special acknowledgement to Markel, Tyreek, Shaniqua, girl, I got you, Gertrude, Demonte, and Medea. You made him realize that no matter how bad life got, at least he wasn't you. Now, many of you may be thinking, well, that wasn't very nice.
Yeah, it's work, but once you put all that blood, sweat, and tears into your piece, getting rewarded for it is one of the best feelings. Going to state, they pick 5 people to go on to represent them in state, and I did that, And it was like an amazing feeling because all these people around me, they saw my work and they saw what I did, and they thought that it was good enough to go represent them.
One could say all this hard work is tedious, but for those in speech and debate, it could be in some aspects adventurous.
The class itself is a great environment. The students support one another in a way that just makes them feel good. As they leave campus, they're sent home with some quality that they've learned something and accomplished something over the course of the day. Not that they don't know their classes, but it's just unique in this particular environment.
Reporting for Channel 5 Titan TV News, this is Sharjah Shergil.
Parents are a staple in our lives, and without them, where would we be? They've raised us, taken us to school, fed us, and put clothes on our backs. Plus, they've taught us a lot and brought us up to the person we are. But imagine them teaching your history class or algebra class. That would be strange, right? For a few students on campus, this is the norm. Chris Howell and I filed this story.
In the morning, students wake up every day and say goodbye to their parents until the evening. However, there are a select few at Antelope High School who don't have to.
These students live a unique life, sharing the campus with their parents. For freshman Alana Henry, it has become routine to see her mother, Madame Christine Henry, throughout the day at school.
My requirements with schoolwork, not just her work, but all of my schoolwork, it's a lot higher, and you have to work harder too, because she can just go and talk to the teachers if she wanted to. A little bit of both. It's weird having her here a little bit, but it has its benefits, and it's kind of fun.
It's fun because I get to say hi to her during the day. I think the advantage is I know what's going on, more than other parents maybe, and I know it sooner. And she can't get away from anything. She's a pretty good kid, so I know I'm not worrying about her causing trouble in my class or anybody else's class, and if she would cause trouble in my class, she would be having the same consequences any other students that would cause problem in my class.
In some cases, students see their parents on campus through sports and other extracurricular activities. This is the case for PE teacher Mr. Brad Burton and his son, freshman Casey Burton.
Well, I see my son Casey a couple times a day. He's in PE for second and third period for PE 9, and then also for weight training. So he comes by and says, hey, it gives me an opportunity to see him, check up on him for the day, and just kind of, be a part of what he's doing every day. It's kind of a good deal for me. For Casey and my other daughters as well, school's always a priority. We're always making sure that the homework's done and that their grades are up to par and that they're putting forth good effort.
It's pretty good. There's not much difference. It's basically school, and then you get to see him every day. My dad always has the same expectations for school. Just have to do your homework and work hard.
A lot of you may be familiar with Mr. Chris Stinson and his son Nick, but you may not know that Mr. Mike Morales and his two daughters that also go to Antelope as well, junior Kayla Morales and freshman Marley Morales. Also, Mrs. Amparo Quinones' niece goes here too, junior Sabrina Ramirez. Coach Rob Richards and his son, freshman Jordan Richards, are also fellow Titans. Advantages to having your mom or dad on campus? You'll always have a ride to school. Disadvantage? No more goofing off in class.
It helps a lot because sometimes if I forget something or I need something, I can just go to him. Like if I need money for lunch or something, I just go to him and he'll give me money. They expect me to get A's and B's, and sometimes I just find it difficult. But I mean, they think I can do it, and I think I can too. I just don't put in the effort. It's fun, and it makes it feel like I have more of a bigger job to do because they think the coach's son stereotype, you're the best one.
The weird part is I don't actually see him on campus during the day for the most part. He's got his freshman classes, I teach my classes. Our expectation levels are a little different, I think, than most households. To us, there should be study time every day. 4.0 is an expectation. Anything under a 3.5 pretty much isn't. You're gonna lose privileges, you might not go to practice, things like that. Jordan's on the freshman team, and we had a long talk a couple years ago that it doesn't matter what he does, he's gonna have to try to outwork everybody. He's got some great coaches at the freshman level, he's gonna get a chance to play for some great coaches at the JV level, and when his junior year comes around, we'll have him ready, and we'll see what happens then.
This is Jamie Hughes signing off for your Channel 5 Titan TV News.
With 3 basketball games in the past week and Wrestling Masters coming up, reporter Paul Cisneros has all the details in this week's Sports Corner.
This is Sports Corner.
Hi Titans, I'm Paul Cisneros with this week's Sports Corner. The boys varsity basketball team will host Burbank at 7 p.m. tonight in the second round of San Joaquin's Section Division II playoffs. The number 3 seeded Titans advance. They've defeated Benicia by a final score of 60-54 on Wednesday. Senior Isaiah Ellis had 16 points, senior Rashad Thornhill had 12, and senior Gabe Beeler and Isaiah Quintero both had 9. Here's the highlight package of last Wednesday's game from reporters Robjot Shergill and Baljot Gill. Last night, the Titans traveled to Del Oro High School for the second round playoffs. The Titans fought hard, but in the end, Del Oro won by a final score of 54-40. Senior Tyler Ellis had 12 points on the night. Last Tuesday, the girls basketball team faced the River City Raiders. Senior Tyler Ellis had 24 points, and senior Maria Zavila and sophomore Camille Warren both had 12 points. The Lady Titans came out on top by a final score of 57-52. In wrestling action, 7 wrestlers will be at the Masters starting today and ending on Saturday. Good luck to Casey Burton, Nigel Suman, Dakota Fierro, Avery Ward, Brandon Tupou, Nathan Rose, and Darren Echeverria. That's all I have for you today. We'll see you next week on the Sports Corner. Bye.
This is Sports Corner.
That's all we have for you today, Titans.
Have a great weekend, even though it's not 3 days.
Man, I wish. Anyways, we'll see you Wednesday when we'll have our new segment, Ask Antonio.
And I really hope you're feeling better, Jamie.
Thanks, Antonio.
See you guys.
Bye.
Good morning, Titans.